Y'all still Mills, what's the deal, man? It's been a minute. I'm just not leaving work. Heading to the crib, man. I got some in-laws in town from California. They in Des Moines, Iowa, man. We're gonna meet them about an hour outside of Des Moines and go grab some grub and then head back to the casa. But yeah, man, that's how the story go. But peep game, man, we got to get into this shit, man. And this is non-boxing related, right? This is non-boxing related. And I'm gonna put that in the title to let motherfuckers know we ain't talking about boxing right now. Not on this video, man. And it's a pretty popular topic today. It's a pretty popular topic today, and that is this Drake situation. Drake suing Kendrick Lamar, man. So let's or just the what is it the distribution company for whatever reason. For he thinks that just I don't even know. I don't get into business especially as far as hip hop is concerned, because I believe that business serves a very little purpose in hip hop culture, man. It's because of shit like this. So just to give y'all clarity on shit, I wasn't when I heard. I may have made a video about it, but when Kendrick Lamar way back in 2013 did the Control verse, and he went at who'd he go at? Cole and Drake, and I think he went at somebody else. I can't. Was it Shine? I'm not. I'm not too sure. But when he went at them initially, man, I was all for that because I'm an avid for battle rap. You dig? I think battle rap is the purest form of hip hop as far as rap. The genre of hip hop is well, as far as rap is concerned, man. As far as not genre, but the element of rap is concerned, battle rap is the purest form of that shit, man. Because there's honestly not really really any way around not being, you dig, lyrically up to par as far as your writing is concerned. And even if you're not writing, the ability to rhyme off the top of the dome and send a shot at a nigga in the moment, that speaks to you actually being able to rhyme off the top of the dome, which is a skill set that is, not necessarily forgotten about today, but it's not as praised and worshiped as today. That's a skill set right there. Being able to be competent and, say something comprehensive to whatever subject y'all going at or you rhyming on, being able to say something in the moment and come up with the right word to really illustrate what it is that you're trying to say in that moment, and find another words to hook that bar, hook that to create the story that you're trying to tell. That's really what it is that I'm trying to say. That is a skill set in itself. So I've always been an advocate for battle rap, and that for real. So I'm all for it. And when this battle first, when it first went down, I was an advocate for that. I was like, hell yeah. Then when I heard it, I was like, nah, this just ain't it for me, man. Because now with this, this new era of battle rap, where we got the URLs and we got the RBEs and we got the King of the Dots and you got Remy Ma's function with Chrome, and you got Geechee Gotti's league, you got Hitman Holler's league, you got the Ultimate Warrior League with Arsenal and all them. It's just a multitude of battle leagues that have popped up all over the place. I love it. I love it, and that's what that's just the highest level of battle rap that that you're gonna get, that you're gonna come across. So that's what I'm more prone to hearing. So the bars that I was hearing from Kendrick and Cole and Drake, I was like, nah, this just ain't satisfying my battle rap urges, man. So I just immediately tuned out. I heard, now I think, J. Cole, I think is just a cut above the other two. But even with him, I just was like on some battle rap shit. It ain't, nah, man. My ears are just too accustomed to listen to a more sophisticated, version of battle rap. It got, it's just done at a higher level with these other cats, man. So when I heard Cole's verse, his response to it, I'm like, it ain't doing it for me, bro. So I immediately tuned out. And it's not until the Kamala Harris situation is going down and just this overt push to really erase us or minimize, I don't even want to say contributions, but minimize our role in the creation of hip hop and dilute our role in the creation of hip hop, that really maybe gravitate towards that song, where it's like, yo, you motherfuckers is really trying to cosplay as us, and I'm not. It's bothering me. It's this push that we don't have to get into the other semantics of it, because that's gonna take me down a whole nother path. But That's what brought me to this Kendrick Lamar song. They not like us, and I've been banging that song ever since. I didn't get onto it until like a month or so later, because I was just like, man, I'm cool. It just this battle shit and I haven't even heard all the songs that they sent at each other because I just wasn't interested. Because just the first couple of songs just completely turned me off to it. But nonetheless, I respected the fact that Kendrick Lamar did that, and he was even like, just keep it cordial, bro. We ain't got to take personal shots. This is just me testing your pen game. That it's nothing more than that. I'm not trying to destroy your career, man. I'm just trying to really elevate our level of penmanship, and that's something that's needed in mainstream hip hop today. Because it's not like it was in the '90s. It's not like it was in the early 2000s where you had to be nice. You had to legitimately be nice to get any sort of headway on the radio, man. Like, at least, by and large, there was a multitude of whack niggas, but they were so far in between of the niggas who was actually spitters. Nowadays, you don't, it's too much. It takes too much time to be dope and perfect your craft and really get in the lab and just sit down and put thought to pad to really elevate your level of thinking to where you're a damn near thespian. You dig? You a screenwriter, damn near Scorsese, like, you know what I'm saying, with the bars that you construct. It's too much. It's nerve wracking. You dig? Where you could just get on, as opposed to now where you could just get on a beat and ride a beat and have the most minimalist approach to rap, just the most no vocabulary. Everybody is sounding the same. Everybody is rhyming in the same tone, and as far as octaves go, you dig? Everybody got the same flow. It's just so low vibration. What the fuck is going on nowadays, man? So I'm appreciative of what Kendrick Lamar did, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the battle because it just didn't satisfy my battle rap urges. But salute to him and kudos to him for doing that. And that is why he'll always get my respect as far as his culture is concerned. Because Kendrick Lamar he's a phenomenal writer. He's an incredible rapper. He's an incredible rapper. So it's not a knock on him as a lyricist. It's not a knock on him as an MC. He's a dope MC. It's just as far as battle rap is concerned and just how I'm used to hearing it, the ear that I've gained from battle rap, he just wasn't rhyming. He wasn't spitting on that level. But nonetheless, you dig, it's something that I commend him for what he's doing. This is just a part of this is just one of the bylaws, man. This is just a part of the cultures and the customs, or the customs that the culture was created on. You dig what I'm saying? Being able to respond to somebody in verbal warfare. That's just what it that's always been what it that's always has been what it has been. This is going back to the days before, niggas was making music. That just listen, the culture exists outside of the booth. Before there was an industry for rappers to come on and make music, niggas was sharpening their pens and their swords and the ciphers. You know what I'm saying? That's where you always supposed to be able to hold court at. It was back in the late '90s and in the early '20s. I was huge in the New York City culture, man. Just everything to the point where I was talking like the niggas. And they were like, nigga, you was not from New York. I'm like, nigga, who said I was? But I was just so enamored with the culture. I'm listening to these niggas and how the shit that I'm listening to, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to is, I'm voicing it as well. And I had to check myself on that. Like, what the fuck? Like, hell no. Nah, nigga, that shit wasn't cool. And I still get talked about for that to this day. But the point is, I was just really enamored in New York City culture. You dig? Hip hop culture is from there. But before we even go back to hip hop culture, I want to go to Rucker Park in Harlem, and they were bringing NBA ball. Kobe hit the court. You know what I'm saying? There's no higher level of basketball being played than NBA basketball. But these niggas was going back to the blacktop in the most hostile basketball environments and getting busy. It's like the Drew League, you know what I'm saying? Kobe in the Ruckers, Kobe in the Drew League, KD in the Ruckers, KD in the Drew League, LeBron in the Drew League. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, yo, you still got to go play with niggas who's hungry. They haven't had the experience. They haven't had the fruits of their labor, pay off to where they can play on on an NBA level or even a Euro League level. They may be college players. They may be high level players just within their city, but they're hungry and they're looking for an opportunity. So you coming down there to play with, you gotta come back. You gotta go eat with the Lions, bro. You gotta go step back in the crock pool. Now, granted, for the most part, these dudes they end up being the king. They end up being the 25-foot long crocodile, but they still showing that they can hold court and in an environment with dudes who are hungry. It's the same thing with hip hop. You have to be able to go in the environments to where the lions and the bears and the tigers are at, to show that, man, all right, cool. I'm a dude who I make music. I've been successful within this culture, but I can step foot in the booth, or in the not the booth, but the studio where the ciphers is going on at, or go in the projects, or if you in New York City, we can go in the motherfucking subways and all that, or just on any street corner in any hood from coast to coast, and I can bring me the dopest spitter, and I'ma smoke that nigga. You still have to show that you can hold court in these environments, man. You still have to show that. Even when you look at the B-boys, man, it's and not even just the B-boys, but the poppers, with the lockers, with the crumpers, with the cats who juke and jit and do all that. Just because you get to a certain level of success within that dance style, and you're in music videos, you're in movies, you're in commercials and everything, there's still a certain level. There's still an arena that you have to still there's still a certain arena that you have to show that you can still hold court in this arena. So if you're a B-boy, I bet you was just in the Olympics. I bet that. You still got to come back to freestyle session. You know what I'm saying? You still got to come back to B-boy summit. You dig what I'm saying? If you're a popper, you still have to come back to, well, it ain't around no more, but how the West was won. You still have to come back to step your game up. You still have to come back to Out the Shadows in Chicago. You still have to come back to these arenas where the top poppers in the world, where it's not about pleasing a crowd through trickery and eye candy shit, but through skill set. You still have to come back and show that you can hold court in these arenas, because it's all about the culture at the end of the day. It's about preserving the culture at the end of the day. That's just how it goes. I don't know any crump events or any juking and shit and I don't know, but you still have to come back and show that you can hold court in those arenas within that field as well. It's the same thing. It's all street culture. It's all street culture. And I've always been a proponent of one of the main customs within this culture is biting, plagiarizing. Ghostwriters is something that should never, it should have never been allowed to be permitted into this as a thing of normality. As far as a verse, I can take a hook. All right, cool, man. Come up with that hook. All right, yeah, make that hook. Whatever I'm not as mad as a hook, because a hook, you ain't spitting no 16 on a hook. You know what I'm saying? The hook could be something. The hook ain't even really got a rhyme. The hook ain't really even got a rhyme. It's the verses that I'm like, nah, nigga, that shit needs to come out of your own cerebral, your own mental. Otherwise, I'm not, nah, bro. You biting to me. You biting. I remember me and my man went online and he was telling me how Nas had a few ghostwriters, and that, just I'm like, a hook I can deal with. But if you tell me someone ghost wrote Death Row East by Nas, that's just gonna be too hard a pill for me to swallow. Nah, I'm not. I know, no. If you tell me Taken in Blood and Suspect Witness and The Bridge is Over and I'm not The Bridge is Over, but Destroy and Rebuild. You tell me all these Nas songs, somebody else wrote those songs. Nah, somebody else wrote those verses. Nah, bro. I'm not. I can't accept that. And Nas will have to be knocked for that. You dig? So ghostwriting is just something that has always been one of the main cardinal sins in the culture, not just rap, in anything. You dig? If you was plagiarizing, tags on the wall, your bombs on the wall, and you got caught for that, you were subject to getting your ass viciously beat or even killed. Now you're playing with people's intellectual property, their identity. This is my contributions to this culture, to society right here. You trying to take this shit from me? Nah, my nigga, we gotta rectify this, because you're not about to step on my toes. The B-boys, the poppers, the lockers, the crumpers. I watched a dude in a crump battle get crumped out of the fucking building. They crumped this nigga out of the building. Culture is serious. It's serious, bro. And it's guidelines that you just can't bypass through fuckery, because people are receptive to your voice and how just the type of music that you make, bro. No, Drake is a nigga who should have always been knocked and honestly casted away from this culture. I've never felt Drake was anything remotely close to being a GOAT. You dig? Just everything about him, I was just, I recognize he was talented. I'm not saying he can't rap. I would the niggas who ghost rip for him can rap. But that, I've heard that, yo, man, he wrote some of that. All right, whatever. He was just always a corny dude to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I heard the talent, but I'm just like, this dude is just not. I just can't get jiggy with this nigga. I just can't do it, bro. This dude is just not moving me. I can't fuck with it. Like, what is it? Like, why is nigga so hyped about this nigga Drake? I have not heard one Drake album. I heard a couple songs. I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool right there. Then I heard other songs. I'm like, man, why'd I even give this nigga props in the first place? No, nigga, no, fuck no. Fuck no. This dude has gotten away with doing too much bullshit in the culture, and now he turns around and sues a nigga because of a diss track? Instead of you getting back in the booth and getting on your shit, now that they not like us is kicking your ass, you want to sue a nigga? Defamation of character, bro. It is out there that you done fucked on some little young girls. And not to mention, he told you to keep it cool, man. Just keep it rap. All this all this extra out shit, bro. We don't gotta do that, bro. It's bars. It's nothing else. I'm not trying to send a personal shot at you. You study battle rap. Battle rappers go at each other's neck in a battle. Now, I'm not a fan of the personal shit, you dig, because it's too much to talk about. There's too much subject matter in the world that's happening in everyday society for you to converge into a bar or a punchline and triple entendre with. You can do that without having to go on some personal shit to speak on a nigga's personal life. I'm not a fan of that shit. Sometimes I'm like, yo, now that shit was hitting. But I'm just not a fan of it. Not even sometimes. If a bar is a bar. You bar a nigga to death in his personal shit, I'm like, woo! And that might fuck around and win you the battle. That doesn't mean I'm a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I'm a fan of it. But what Kendrick was saying was real, man. Just keep it rap, my nigga. Like, I'm not coming on here to get personal with you. You getting aggravated because I'm coming at you. I'm really testing your pen game, and you know that your pen ain't up to par like it should be. And with that comes aggravation. And now you sending shots that I'm going to have to eventually address and counterattack. So I'm not mad at nothing that Kendrick did at all, man. I'm mad at fucking Aubrey. This Degrassi Junior High character ass nigga, bro. This dude is cosplaying his niggas. He's cosplaying. You hear this nigga speaking his mannerisms and everything clear up into his late teens. He does not sound nothing like us. And this is not a slight at Canadians, because there's real official niggas up in Canada. There's real official niggas up there in Toronto. There's real official niggas up there in Montreal, bro. It's gangsters up there, contrary to popular belief. Niggas is thugging up there. They gonna have the accents and everything, but they got accents in the UK and shit. They got accents in Ireland. They got accents in Russia. They got accents all over the place. Everywhere they speak English at is going to sound. They speak English differently here in the Midwest than they do in the South and than they do in New York. So, of course, they're going to speak differently. That ain't a knock on they thugging, man. Niggas done got out there and did some wild shit. So this ain't a knock on the Canadians. This is a knock on this nigga. This is a knock on this nigga who wore blackface. This is a knock on him. Now, I've done some dumb shit in my past as a kid that I thought was funny, that was actually offensive, while I let another motherfucker get away with it. But by the time you hit a certain age, you like, nah, that ain't it. This was practically a grown fucking man wearing blackface. What are we doing, man? This is a nigga who should have been X'd off from the culture. This is a nigga who should have been X'd off. That nigga is not one of us, bro. And it pisses me off that we are, black Americans are so, they shy away from gatekeeping. They shy away from saying this is our creation. And we decide who's going to be pumped on the airways. We are going to decide who is them niggas. When it was time to cancel Iggy Azalea, niggas let that shit be known. Fuck no, get this Aussie motherfucker up out of here. It's not happening, shorty, no. It's not happening. It's like niggas in America have this, they got the propensity to shy away from letting it be known that, we are the pillars of culture. Globally. I'm not about to buy, ain't no hair on my tongue. There is no other culture that is celebrated in America as far as anybody within. What culture outside of America is celebrated here by the general population? by everybody. Besides something like on the level of like anime. Anime culture is killing shit globally. Everybody is participating in anime culture. Hip hop has hit globally. There's people who are learning English just to be able to recite songs. There's people who's learning English through these songs. When I would go to functions as a dancer, when I would go to functions, it would be people from clear across the pond who know no English, but they're studying it just to be able to take classes from a popper, from a well-known world-class popper that they revere, and be able to communicate with people who are a part of this same scene. That's through culture. That's just the power of our culture. And we're just so gung-ho on wanting to be inclusive and everybody in here and not come off as divisive that we'll just allow anybody to be a part of what it is that we do and won't think twice about gatekeeping, or won't even think to gatekeep. Anybody can run it, anybody can be a part of it, anybody can control it. And now that, just rap in particular is so far is stranded on an island so far and isolated away from the rest of the culture that shit that niggas cannot do in any other element within hip hop culture, they are allowing niggas to do in hip hop, through mainstream hip hop, through the music business, bro. That shit is wild to me. That shit is wild to me. And because niggas don't want to say this ain't the move, we not fucking with that shit. No, they not like, because they don't want to draw that line in the sand and let it be known that you can't do that. This is our culture. They just let motherfuckers run amok with it. They just let niggas run amok with it. There's no culture in America like hip hop culture. That would include anime. Because I'm not seeing a horde of black people, or just people in general, yearning to learn Japanese. Are there plenty? Yeah. But in comparison to those who want to learn English just to be able to recite music, no. Black American music, hip hop in particular, fuck no. Fuck no. All these Anglo-Europeans who are trying to sing and, sound like the songstress here in America, that's not by accident, bro. That's not by accident. The production in reggaeton, the heavy 808s that you hearing now in those beats, it ain't just it ain't just that no more. Our culture is way too potent for motherfuckers to act like we don't dictate shit. And because we don't dictate shit, we get this high yellow waffle cone, Degrassi Jr. high ass nigga coming over here, and niggas having the nerve to argue that he's possibly the GOAT because of how much success he's had in the culture. No, I'm tired of this shit. No. The fact that you're even profitable within this culture is a problem with me, because you are not cut from this cloth. Canada has an amazing hip-hop scene. There's dope MCs who come out of Canada. There's dope B-boys who come out of Canada. There are incredible graph heads who come out of Canada. There's incredible poppers and lockers and jukers and everything in Canada. All the street culture is alive and well in Canada. Drake is just a nigga who was able to look, through good looks and being able to just harmonize and all that shit and have a slight capability to be able to write, something clever. Look at where he's at now. Look how prosperous he is. And they'll ignore all of the cardinal sins that this man is committed to, on his way to the top, bro. And I've always taken issue with that. When you have a known ghostwriter, Cardi B, there's no way. Why are we allowing this shit to happen? This is a cardinal sin within hip hop culture. You do not go. You get a ghostwriter, my nigga. Just you out of there. You out of there. That is a no-no. We get further and further away from the customs of hip hop culture because of how mainstream it is. And this is my biggest beef when it comes to the music industry. Some shit just is not meant for fucking public consumption. The business side of hip hop, I will say this. Mainstream hip hop is what got hip hop, when hip hop went mainstream, that's what put hip hop on the world stage. And for about 2 decades, They made incredibly timeless music through these, these record labels and shit. I'm not ever gonna deny that. I'm not ever gonna deny that, man. But it's a backdrop as well, where it's like the everything must come to an end. All things good must come to an end, and that's practically what happened. All things, all good things. That good thing came to an end. We got a lot of time. Hold up. Let me get a drink real quick. A lot of timeless music through mainstream hip hop. A lot of timeless music in general with just these record labels and everything. We ain't got to talk about how wild they was doing the artists and how much they was fucking the artists. We got a lot of classic, timeless music through mainstream, through these record labels or whatever, man. But rap is the culture that's the most sellable part of hip hop culture. It's the most sellable part of hip hop culture. And with that, when you got cats who come in with green eye, they green eyes, they hungry, but they money hungry, you can begin to isolate them away from the culture. You can isolate them easily. Why? Because you can promise them millions of dollars. You can promise them drag out 60, 50, and $60 advances on a deal. You can do all of that shit. And they gonna bite because these is niggas at that point in time who was coming out of, these niggas coming out of poverty. These niggas coming out of prison. But it was a passion there to be the greatest or remembered amongst the greats. It was a passion for that. There's a passion for that, man. Just these motherfuckers are in a position where they can dictate shit, man. It's a reason why by the time the mid 90s started coming around, you stopped seeing as much Afrocentrism in hip hop videos. You didn't get a whole bunch of more soul to souls. You didn't get a lot of sounds of blackness. You didn't get a lot of Public Enemies. You didn't get a lot of them You didn't get a lot of X-Clans. You didn't get a lot of that. Because the sound started shifting to something a lot more corrupted and chaotic and destructive. And we got to be real. That's what it is. Even though hip hop is predicated on that shit, it's predicated on that same corruption. It's predicated on that same destructive shit. But that is entirely what it is. It's destructive. It is. We got to be real. We got to be all the way real about that. Even though that's the type of hip hop that I love, I'm a realist. Yes, but this shit is destructive. But that's the shit. Hey, society is destructive. Blame society for that shit. You dig? But when you pay these motherfuckers, they're these fucking chickens. They're bent to your will. They're bent to your will. Oh my fucking God, move before I run your dumb ass over. It's fucking chicken, bro. It's fucking chickens. God damn. But you're bent to your will. They're bent to your will. The hand that pays is the hand that calls the shots. And they have been calling the shots for years. And with them calling the shots, they're in position to where they just gonna run amok with the bullshit. So now it's not up to you as the creators, the people who's this intellectual, whose intellectual property this is. It's not up to y'all to set the rules and set the standards. It's up to us because we're the hand that pays. Because niggas are so thirsty to get off the block. Niggas are so thirsty to get out the hood. Niggas are so thirsty to travel across the world and see the world and have their name etched in the history books, which is cool. But at the end of the day, what do you look at the back, the back effect that you have, or the catastrophic effect that you're having. You dig? It's always gonna be a backdrop to that. And now here we are. We got a high yellow nigga who has came into prominence in this culture through ghostwriting, through blackfacing. And now you are going to sue a nigga because you got smoked in verbal combat. Man, listen. Drake is just get that nigga please deport this nigga back to Canada and keep him out of the United States of America. Ja Rule didn't even do this shit with 50. And 50 gunned down Ja Rule when Ja Rule was at his apex. And got that nigga all the way up out the paint. Niggas was throwing salt on the what's the song he did with Bobby Brown, bro? That was a dope track. That was a dope track. But by the time Fifth did what he did to him, it was just like, damn, Ja. Damn. How do we get past this? Did you see Ja Rule decide to go and sue a nigga for defamation of character and all that shit? Them niggas done brawled out and fought and shot at each other and shit. You don't see niggas going to, you didn't see Ja go to fucking the police and file a police report on some shit like that because of what happened in the streets? No. You ain't see that shit. But you got this high yellow nigga up here about to go, not even about, who is suing another rapper. This is Devin Haney all over again. How do you sue a nigga for outdoing you and what it is that you supposed to do? You sue Kendrick Lamar because he out-rapped you in a battle. Defamation of character. Oh man, y'all, because of that shit, y'all played me on the, the new money y'all supposed to get on this new deal. Man, this is why there are everything is not supposed to be mainstream, bro. This is why I always say get back to hip hop, and this is why I'm a cynic when it comes to this culture, because you need conservative, cynical ass niggas like me to keep shit in order and let you know I'm not fucking with that. No, that shit is no. Y'all can have that. I don't get. It's gonna take more than you just being, making good music. What's good music to me is me knowing that you are skilled in your craft. The minute I know you can hold court in certain arenas within hip hop, you got my ear. For the most, independent on the music you make. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I do have to gravitate towards your music. Same with singers. I gotta know that you can blow the roof off of the bit. Man, listen. The church choir is as quintessential to the vocalist as the cipher is to the MC. If I know you ain't grow up singing in the church choir, man, I'm gonna be reluctant to listen to you. That's just a fact. Because you ain't coming on here with, just incredible vocals, vocal projection. You're not coming on here with that. You coming on there sounding like, nigga, they could put me in the booth on a singing track and cover the ranges that my voice that I may not be able to vocally hit. On wax, I'm gonna sound incredible. On live, I'm gonna sound like dog shit. Drake ain't one of us, man. Send this nigga back to Canada. He's not one of us. He's not one of us. He is not of this culture. He is not a dude who's hell bent on preserving the culture. It's time to discard this fuck nigga. Get him the fuck up out of here. Pack him up. Get him out of here. He gotta go. Gotta go. How dare you sue a nigga for out-rapping you when you're a rapper? Allegedly. You're a sucker. Certified sucker. And anybody who listened to him.